Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This article that I will discuss with you today has a connection in my mind with three historical events. One is the Treaty of Versailles after the First World War in Europe. Second one has to do with the Second World War. And the third one has to do with the Nuremberg trials, where the German leadership of the Second World War were, trialed. So, when I saw the title of this article, and I saw it before, because it's not new, I said, I think I know exactly who that person is. Not by name, but by identification. Not ID number or ID badge or anything. So this article comes from Sputnik, which is a Russian news outlet, which doesn't matter. It actually comes from I saw it in other outlets as well. It's just I saw it yesterday, but this is older, this piece of news. DoJ, the Department of Justice, hires veteran quote-unquote Nazi hunter, end quote, to investigate war crimes in Ukraine. Now, when I read this, I said, I probably know exactly who that person is, how he what he identifies as and what he is, which is fine. So let's see. Tens of thousands of neo-Nazi fighters from nearly a dozen extreme right militias serve alongside the Ukrainian army. This is what the Sputnik says, and I don't believe it anymore. I'm telling you why. Because if they really believe in that statement, that means they would not have released the 5 commanders of Azov battalion, which are really the creme de la creme of the neo-Nazi fighters, right? And they just released them, swapped them, and they're in Turkey. Bad move over there. So, US Congress recognized the infamous Azov regiment as a neo-Nazi unit in 2015. That's true. But since February 2022, Western media coverage of the neo-Nazi problem in Ukraine has virtually disappeared, with Azov itself undergoing a rebranding. Now, this is the name of the hunter. Eli Rosenbaum, former director of the Department of Justice Office of Special Investigations, has been hired by the DoJ to investigate war crimes in Ukraine. To lead this effort, the Attorney General has tapped Eli Rosenbaum, Zelensky, SHMYHAL, REZNIKOV, what a coincidence, to serve as a counselor for war crimes accountability, the DoJ said in a press release Thursday. Now, Rosenbaum, who's 67, is a 36-year-old veteran of the department, has been in the department in his capacity of the OSI, specialized in identifying, denaturalizing, and deporting Nazi war criminals. So, which is, if that's the reality, is your reality. So here it is, and I'm quoting, "The United States stands in solidarity with the people of Ukraine in the face of Russia's continued aggression and assault on Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity," Attorney General Merrick Garland was quoted as saying in the release. "America and the world has seen the many horrific images and read the heart-wrenching accounts, blah blah blah, of the brutality and death that have resulted from Russia's unjust aggression." Now, if this guy, if it says DOJ press release did not specify exactly whose crimes would be investigated by Mr. Rosenbaum, well, by that statement, the United States stand in solidarity with exactly. So this guy, Rosenbaum, he is sent by American Department of Justice. American sends Rosenbaum, Zelensky, to Ukraine to investigate war crimes. Whose war crimes, if the DOJ supports Ukraine, who do you think is going to be investigating? Do you think it's going to be impartial, or he's just going to go over there and try to prove something? Now, why is this guy, is a coincidence, I'm pretty sure it's a coincidence, why this guy, Rosenbaum, is sent to a country where its leaders are Jewish, the three of them, the Trinity, and the population is Ukrainian. Oh my God, the Jews are Ukrainian. It doesn't work like that. Here in the United States, it worked like that because that's the way it was formed, with different people and all that, even though it was a European created country. When nobody said that, I don't know, the Martians should come here. And you know, the other ones were kept aside, and unfortunately, they were kept as slaves. Now, that's a different topic anyway. So here you have this guy going over there, which is Jewish, goes over there to investigate for his Jewish guys over there, he has to be impartial, you think. He's not going to be impartial. He goes over there to just point fingers at the other side, who has no Jews, by the way, in any leadership position. They must be, anti-Semitic or something. So, but you're not anti-Semitic if you put this way, these guys. But can you be anti-Ukrainian if you put these guys? Or if you put, let's say, gypsies. I don't have anything with gypsies, but just say, put gypsies. Why would you put gypsies? To show that you're not xenophobic or something? And like this, you go then to, let's say, Israel, and you put Romanians in charge? Or you go, is that the way it works? You know what I mean? So let's go to Israel and put some Palestinians in, the first three guys. The Minister of Defense, Prime Minister, and the President. All Palestinians. Or, I don't know, Russians. Not Russians, because they claim they are Russians coming from Russia. Immigration, refugees, you know how the story goes. If you don't know, I will tell you later. Let's put something else. Or you go say, no, because that's a Jewish state. Remember, a Jewish state? You can't refer it to anything else. A Jewish state, Israel. But you can say Ukrainian state. And Jewish state means Jewish for Jews, not Palestinian state. You don't hear the Russian state. You hear Russia. Why? Because Russia is a multicultural society, and Ukraine the same way. But anyway, do you think that this guy is going to be impartial? I do not think at all. I don't think his job is not to be impartial. I think his job is just to look and make up things over there, whatever he finds. And all right, now brings me to the three examples. After the First World War, there are some books written on that, where the French delegation, and not only the French delegations, some observers of the Peace of Versailles and so on, they were surprised of Woodrow Wilson's, president then of the United States of America's, delegation. And they said, why is this we thought it was a different kind of country coming here. And they said, too many Rosenbaums, I'm saying. Why are these all Rosenbaums? Okay, look at Second World War. Second World War, if you look into certain, I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories, but there are books written on this. But books that are not peer-reviewed because, that's not the main script that we have to follow. So if you look at the Second World War, they try to make it now all about that. It was all about those crimes that. And it was about world domination. It was interest, spheres of interest. It was many other things too. More important, I would say, than others that they try to turn it around. Like, for instance, they say right now with, for the past, I don't know how many, that civil war in the United States was fought because of slavery. Well, it was one of the reasons. But now they say this was the one. All right. Some people might have a different assessment on that. And if you look back in history, that was not the main point stated by many historians. Only recently they try to make this as the pinnacle thing. All right, now let's go with the Nuremberg trials. Go and see who were the guys, again, sent by the United States for the Nuremberg trials. Just go. The prosecutors, the US prosecutors. One of them is still alive. one of them. He's 103 or something. And unfortunately, or fortunately, he was born in Romania. Again, a ZELENSKY, a SHMYHAL, a REZNIKOV. He was born in Romania. His parents emigrated to the United States. He got to be in the team of prosecutors representing the United States of America again with the Germans. Do you think that guy was, again, very objective, since his people were massacred by the Germans during the Second World War? Do you think he could have stand like that? Now, do you think that ROSENBAUM will be just objective with these three guys in charge, sent by the US? I mean, it's just, if you don't want to make any kind of connections, or you say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, just acknowledge this truth and ask yourself, how come? I don't see any Mexican being in any delegation. I haven't seen any Mexican being the one that in Wilson's delegation in Versailles. I don't see any Mexican being in the Second World War. A problem with the Mexicans. Third one, I didn't see any problems with a Mexican prosecutor being appointed by the U.S. government at Nuremberg. One of them, the prosecutors. I don't see that. I don't see right now a Mexican appointed by DoJ going to investigate the war crimes in Ukraine. No, I didn't see any Romanian. I didn't see any French. Why is that? But you consistently see this. And just ask questions. Don't have to jump to conclusions. I'm not saying, oh my God, this is all connected over there. Just look into it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.